How you doing? Homestead Ed here. Well, I'm back on Long Island. I've been on vacation this week, so I spent a few days up in PA at the homestead. Now I'm back down here. When I was up there, the garden up there is doing really, really well, which is a difficult thing. I go there every week or every 2 weeks, and I've got other things to do there too. So to keep the garden going, you should really be out every day in the garden seeing what's going on. You can stop little problems before they become big problems if you're out there every day. But up there, it is what it is. So the cabbage is getting ready to be picked, and I didn't know it really could have went a little longer, but I figured I'm not going to be up there for at least a week. So let me grab a head, bring it home here and do something with it. So I got this little head of cabbage here that I picked, and I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some fried cabbage. Now fried cabbage is fantastic. It's soul food. Just like every other ethnic group or racial group, you know, some of the best foods we have come when people don't have much money and they have to make do with what they had, or what they have around them, the ingredients they have, and they come up with some fantastic stuff. And that's the same way with soul food. You don't find it around too much anymore. I remember back when I was a kid, the late 70s, early 80s, you used to have soul food restaurants around. You don't really see them that much. But this is a fantastic dish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little head of cabbage, bring it inside, I'm going to core it. You always want to core your cabbage. You want to cut out this hard part down at the bottom. I'm going to core it, I'm going to cut it up into slices, I'm going to get all the rest of the ingredients together, and together we're going to make some fantastic fried cabbage. See you in a couple minutes inside in the kitchen. Okay, so here we are back in the kitchen. I just wanted to, this takes a long time to put together, so I just wanted to show you a little bit about the ingredients I'm using and talk to you about the process, and we'll get it cooking. I'll shut this off and we'll come back to it in a little bit. What I've got here is 1 large onion chopped up. I've got 2 small peppers, bell peppers. I prefer to use 1 regular size green bell pepper and 1 red one, but the way it's going, it's early in the season, peppers haven't turned red yet. So I've got 2 small ones in there. I'm trying to use everything out of the garden that I can. Here's my cabbage. Now what I did with this is I took the core out, chopped it up, I put a little bit of salt on there. It's been sitting, I guess, about 5 minutes now. No, probably about 10 minutes now. I'm just going to try to drain out a little bit of that water there. The other things I'll need is some chopped garlic. If you want to chop it yourself, that's even better. I'm just busy today. Chicken broth. Now chicken broth, if you can make your own, that's the best way to go. If you can't, you could always take a chicken bouillon cube, put some water in there, heat it up, and you've got some. But we'll do a video in the future on how to make chicken broth. Very easy, it stores pretty well in the fridge. A little bit of sugar at the end, salt, pepper. I like paprika. Paprika pulls out a bunch of the flavor. It also gives it a little bit of color. And we've got a little bit of hot sauce here. That's very key is the hot sauce. And the last thing is this bacon. I took, you want to come here, camera lady? I took 6 strips of bacon, and what I'm going to do with this is cut it up thin, and we're going to put it over there in that saute pan where I've got some butter going right now, and we're going to cook this down. This is the key ingredient. It's basically going to cook in this bacon fat. I've done it before where I've cooked the bacon first and then chopped it up. I find this is the right way to do it. Just take 5, 6 strips of bacon, cut them up thin. Let's throw this in that saucepan, and then we're going to shut the camera off for a bit. Let me get this cooked down. Once I get this in, I'm going to add the onions, the peppers, the garlic. We're going to reduce this down a bit, get it cooking up nice, and then we'll be ready to put the cabbage in and show you how we finish this off. Okay, so I have the bacon rendered down a bit. And it's time to add the onions. Give them a quick little stir. The peppers and the garlic. I'm really big on garlic, so I'm going to put in a nice tablespoon of this chopped garlic here. That would be it. Probably like 3 or 4 cloves of garlic right there. Now we'll give this a quick stir. I want to get this broken down just a little bit before I start adding the cabbage. So I figured tell you a quick little story about this. I guess it was about 1990, maybe 1992, and I was putting an alarm system in a coffee shop in Harlem. It was me and my friend Mike. We used to work together for the small alarm company, and there was this nice little soul food place. I forget the name of the place, but it was basically like a Chinese restaurant right around the corner. And Mike said, "Hey, come on, let's go give it a try." Well, I went in there and they had a combination plate. It was oxtails and some fried cabbage. $4. The oxtails, the flavor was there, but it just wasn't my thing. But this fried cabbage, ever since then, it's been something that I love. So this isn't 100% authentic, this recipe, but I've done my best over the years to bring it back. Give it a try. You're really going to enjoy this. Okay, so now let's start adding a little cabbage to this. This cabbage really reduces well. So what I'm going to do, put in about half of the cabbage. Then I just want to add a little bit of pepper. And some paprika. I don't really have to add salt at this point because I have the salt from before when I put it in there to pull a little bit of the water out. So we should be okay. We'll put the remainder of the cabbage. A little bit more pepper. And a dash of paprika. And then we're going to let this sweat down a bit. Just a little bit. And we're going to be adding that broth. So let's give it a 5-10 minutes. We'll come back and take a look. Thanks. Okay, so here we are. This has been cooking down a good 20 minutes. It may be a little longer than that. What I did, I cooked it for about 5 minutes when the cabbage was all in there. Added some chicken stock, a cup of chicken stock to it, and then really let it reduce. And we're getting to a point where most of the water is boiled off. That's what you want. And you can see this cabbage is looking nice and tender, just about ready to be there. So our last step is we're going to add some sugar. I'm going to put in about, I don't know, maybe 2-3 tablespoons of sugar into this. I'm going to give that a quick stir. And then we're going to put in some hot sauce. nice amount, maybe a tablespoon, tablespoon and a half of hot sauce. We'll put it in there. Give that a stir again. And this is the way I like it. Hot and sweet, just like my wife. We'll let this liquid here boil off, and we're ready to eat some delicious soul food. Well, there you have it. Some absolutely fantastic fried cabbage. My wife did mention I was a little heavy-handed on the hot sauce. I just like it that way. You know, you can change the ingredients any way you want, make it taste the way you want. But this gives you a pretty good start to making some delicious soul food. Thanks for watching.